Oh my god, my boyfriend has someone with him in our flat, and I think he's cheating on me. I had returned early from visiting my family abroad, a trip I'd taken alone as my boyfriend hadn't wanted to come. I was so happy to be back and really looking forward to seeing him again. I wanted to surprise him, so, chocolates in hand, I quietly opened the door to our flat. What I heard nearly broke my heart. I couldn't confront him. I just closed the door, turned, and ran away in tears. Early that summer, I took a job as an intern in a law firm. The work was hard, and the hours were long, with a tough commute every day. That meant I left early and didn't get home until 9. I know this puts a strain on our relationship, but we still were very much in love. When I told him about my trip to visit family, and he said he wasn't coming, I thought nothing of it. My trip was supposed to be for 2 weeks, but because of last-minute work commitments, I could only go for 1. I forgot to tell my boyfriend this, so when I returned a week early, I thought he'd be surprised and delighted. We promised to text each other every day while I was on my trip, but after a couple of days, he stopped returning my texts. Despite this, I still didn't think anything was wrong. So, it was a complete shock when I heard those noises when I opened the door. I ran back to my car in tears and drove around for hours. I was heartbroken and didn't know what to do, whether I should be angry or sad. Finally, I called a girlfriend, Amy, and she told me to come right over. She was wonderful. She gave me a huge hug and said I could stay with her as long as I liked. I felt broken and angry. I just couldn't believe the guy I loved and who I thought loved me would cheat on me behind my back. When I woke up the next day, I could hardly believe what I had on my cell. It was a text from my boyfriend. "How goes the trip?" he asked. I could have screamed. I was so angry at him. I immediately sent a nasty text back, accusing him of cheating on me. Of course, he denied doing anything wrong and seemed hurt and confused by my accusations. But how could he deny it? I'd heard the other girl in the room. He wanted me to go straight over to our flat to discuss it, but I told him no. Finally, I agreed to meet him later that day in our favorite restaurant. When we met, he was so convincing. He said there was no way he would ever cheat on me because he loved me so much. How could he lie to me like that? I'd heard him and another woman in our flat. I couldn't listen to any more of his lies, so I stormed out and went back to my friend's house in tears. While I was sitting in the kitchen alone and feeling sorry for myself, I noticed my friend's cell phone lying on the table. There was a text on it from my boyfriend. It said, "I really needed that. Thanks for coming over." What? Why would he be texting Amy? Unless... Was he cheating on me with Amy? My own friend? I know I shouldn't have done it, but I needed to know. I had to know. I unlocked the phone and read the text. What I read made me feel like such a fool. I scrolled to the beginning, where it started a few days before I arrived back from my trip. My boyfriend had been assigned a pretty big project and had client meetings until late in the afternoon. He'd be back so late and tired that he'd forget to feed our cats, so he asked if Amy could stop by some days to help out. She loved cats anyways, and because her apartment didn't allow pets, she was happy to do it. He gave Amy a key to our flat so she could come in when he was away, and the day I planned on surprising him, they both happened to bump into one another in the apartment. I felt like such an idiot. When I saw Amy, I quickly asked if she was ever in our apartment while I was away, and her story matched exactly what I read through the text messages. It completely slipped her mind because she didn't even stay long, and when she saw my boyfriend was there, she only chatted for a bit and ran out to meet me. It had all been a huge misunderstanding. I assumed the worst when I heard another girl in the apartment, and because he wasn't being responsive, I already had negative thoughts. My boyfriend never cheated on me. I felt so guilty for accusing him of being unfaithful that I raced home. He was wonderful. All he said was, "I knew you'd come around." So, you should never judge a book by its cover. Things might not always be as they seem.